All right, you are welcome back. This is still Crossfire with Dakwani Shoma, and we'll be looking at the possible, inherent and very visible challenges that the incoming government may likely be facing as soon as they take over come May the 29th. And we listed a couple of these issues, and we know there are many of them that are not mentioned in our list. And so we want you to let us know your thoughts on some of these things. We talked about the general insecurity and insurgency. We talked about environmental degradation in the Niger Delta, decline in revenue due to falling oil prices, endemic corruption that has eaten deep into virtually all Nigerians and every sector of the economy, poor power supply that is almost forever, deindustrialization for the past 3 decades. When we talk about the industrialization, let's talk about all the, steel, industry, for instance, that would have given birth to huge investment from all the countries of the world, create employment. The Ajaukuta steel rolling mill today has become like a gully that government uses to siphon money and for government to hit deep into the economy. And the same thing, the Oshobo steel rolling mill, I doubt if it's functional. And so many of this, industry, that are died. High level of unemployment. We can keep talking and talking about it. High cost of governance. that is, we didn't say this.
High cost of governance.
Let me mention something. Wait, hold on. Something came to my mind. And we mentioned it, but it was trivialized. Workers in Nigeria have been, shouting. We heard people calling us from Osun the other day. Yeah. It was really very, it was an emotional time, and stuff when you have full-grown men who cannot take care of their family and all of that. Their families, children can't go to school. They can hardly eat because government is owing them 6 months, 8 months of salaries and they have not paid. But have you heard any governor complaining that his salary is not paid?
Oh, no.
Have you heard any legislator in this country complaining that their salaries are not paid?
We're looking forward to a time that will happen.
Both state and national. Don't you think that is gross level of impunity and wickedness? Definitely. That's what we have here. Everybody, in their own, particular rights are largesse, and the workers have been, subjected to this inhuman form of treatment and all of that. Anyway, call us, let us know how you feel about some of these things we're talking about: erosion of public social services and then lack of development in agricultural and solid mineral sector. Bitumen is all over the places. Nobody's and our roads are in the states that they are. It's so terrible.
A lot of people do not know we have gold in Nigeria.
How
we have aquamarine. I think that's one of my favorite precious stones. We have aquamarine in Nigeria. A lot of people do not know. And we don't even have, we can go on and talk about all our mineral resources and so many, and that reminds me of, this man. I've forgotten his name. His name came to my head now when they were saying, you said that we have a lot of mineral resources in Nigeria, and all of that. I said you can mention some of them. He said we have coke, we have Panta, we have coke. We have emerald. We have ruby, we have sapphire, we have topaz, we have garnet.
We have virtually all the precious stones.
And virtually all the precious stones. At the level it is.
It's so really terrible that this is the situation that we are facing at the moment.
Do you know how much some of these precious stones, do you know the revenue it gives their government over there in foreign nations?
Do you know there was a time the entire Nigerian economy...
And workers are suffering. Children are dying because of communicable diseases which can be avoided.
Yeah, because our environments are not well taken care of.
We have youth who have resulted into all sorts of criminal activities. Well, I know some of them are lazy, but then the vast majority of our youth population are unemployed. They do not have anything meaningful to do.
When an economy is positioned in a way,
to the highest level.
When an economy or when a nation is positioned in a way to ensure that policies, processes, procedures are followed, processes are followed to the letters, and then policies are in place to help take care of the generality or the populace. Believe you me, it's not that you will have a totally crime-free society, but it will not be at the level that we have in Nigeria. Yeah, it won't.
Definitely. Minimum.
Definitely, it will not be, you know, and all of that. Another very, you know, very sad one is, you know, is the high cost of governance. Really, is the high cost of governance.
I mean, you wonder. You see their food budget for the year, and you wonder what are they eating? Are they eating designer rice or beans?
You know, like, before the end of the week, really? We'll be discussing about the severance package. The severance package, you know,
we talked about that before now.
Oh my gosh,
we talked about that before.
I mean, it's just really very terrible that this is the kind of nation, you know, that we all belong to and all of that. Come on, pick up your phones now and call us and let us know exactly how you feel. In one of the things that we have not even talked about here, in the list of the things that the government coming in may be facing is actually in the health sector. It's actually in the health sector. That's a very major one.
The health sector for me is very important, but I'm also looking at another very key area which we did not mention, information technology. We have a lot of youths, a lot of Nigerians who are gurus when it comes to the ICT world. And imagine when you have your ICT department working perfectly. It virtually spans, you know, into every sector. Because I'm looking forward to a Nigeria where every individual resident in this nation, whether you're a citizen or you're just residing in Nigeria, the nation will have your data bank, all of your informations in, you know, the data bank of the nation. And also for health benefits also, even if you need any form of benefit, health benefit or loan or whatever it is, it's as simple as Googling or opening up your data, and then all the track record will be slotted in. Have you ever gone to jail? Were you ever charged for any offense? These are some of the areas. And for the truth is, we cannot have a nation that will 100% focus on its citizens if we do not have this area fixed. Because now look at nations that give their citizens stipends. They can't just wake up and say you, because all of these details needs to be fed into the data bank. Have you ever been paid? How old are you? Okay, you turned 18, or you'll be turning 18 by, let's say, December. They should know all of these things. So let's say from when you're 18, these are some of the benefits you should begin to enjoy. That is how advanced nations work. And we hope for Nigeria to begin to grow or excel in that realm, we need to get our information technology department working perfectly. That sector has not been touched, and we hope General Muhammadu Buhari can really, I mean, you're a guru when it comes to information technology. It will be difficult if they can consult you and many other intelligent young minds on how the
consult me.
Yes, of course, definitely. ICT, telecommunications, and all of that. But these are the areas we need to look at.
Now, another very terrible one. You see, because if you have lived in Lagos for at least a decade, you will understand the issue that Lagosians, particularly since we are around here, housing.
Oh, housing.
It's
horrible.
Synonymous
to traffic.
It's very horrible. And so you begin to wonder, how long do I need to save for? Or how long do I need, to wait to be able to at least get a two-bedroom apartment for me, and my very small family? For big families, that's why... See, it's really very bad.
It's so bad.
Do you know what came into my mind? I know a family who live in a single-bedroom apartment, and there are 7 children, man and wife. Now, somebody will say they didn't plan their life well. Somebody will say, okay, they should have considered family planning. Why are you bringing children into the world and you don't have the platform to be able to take care of them, and all of that? And this particular woman, all she does was, she's into fries. She does all this puff and buns and yam. She will do puff and buns in the morning, and then in the night she will do plantain, roasted plantain, fried plantain, fried yam, and fried, baked beans and all of that. I said baked beans. Fried bean cake. Anyway, akara. As it's popularly known as akara. And that's all she does. And these children will have to go to school, and they have to, feed,
Definitely.
And they have to wear clothes.
Exactly. Medicals also,
and all of that. And so when you now have one of them have a cough, which probably is picked up from the school, it becomes very, very, epidemic, because it's going to spread it round, the entire family. And then it's going to be nursing from one child town to another. Now, what exactly is the government doing to address housing issue in Nigeria? You need to see where people are living. You need to go to places and you'll be, I'm telling you.
And then the next thing, they wake up and then even the little place where they could call a shelter is demolished.
And some guys still go there because some of them, they don't have burglary proof. They probably just managed to cover the window. And then the bad boys goes there, rape their children, and take away, get away with their phones and a few other valuable things that they have. I mean, still talking about insecurity and insurgency.
I mean, it's not so difficult if the government can have, hectares of land where they build, local, what we can call low-cost housing.
Do you know if the average worker, if the activity of the UPN was compensated, especially in the Lagos area, where we have former governor of Lagos State, Lateef Jakande, where we have the Solo Housing Estate today was their project. The Amu Ward of Housing Estate was their project. Yes. If we have government who have been in succession, who have been compensating for the effort of that government, do you know what Lagos will be today? The mega city we've been clamoring for would have been battered long before now.
This is not just about Lagos State, because I'm also looking forward that this, as regards this housing issue,
they are creating it for the rich and the mighty. The poor people in the society still don't enjoy it.
Other states.
Okay, look at the mega city. Look at the mega city project. The mega city project that Lagos State is embarked upon is developing housing units in the Victoria Island sector, going into the Lekki corridor. I mean, that's where they're building houses. How many of us can afford to buy those houses? How many of us can afford to rent them?
Very true.
I mean, you have not gone to Mushi area to go and discover if you have an expanse of land that belongs to the government and raise buildings. Go to Ebutemeta area, go to Isolo, go to Oshodi area, go into Badagry, area.
That is proper planning. But unfortunately, we have a lot of leaders who do not think.
Now, anyway, we just want to use this opportunity, to reach out to a few government officials who are out there, and especially the incoming government that we will be ushering in a few days' time, to begin to come up with a plan, a robust plan, a workable plan.
A plan that covers Nigerians.
That is concerned about the people.
Citizen.
That is concerned about the people.
That is the only way this incoming administration will succeed.
Now look at all the housing units. I hope they will succeed. It has been recorded that more than 3,500 housing units have been destroyed by the insurgency in Yobe State, Adamawa State, and Borno State.
Very true.
Government needs to, obviously, President Goodluck Jonathan's administration will not do anything about that, even though I heard that a few structures are springing up in some places and all of that. But for me, I know before the new government...
the administration do anything about it?
Yeah, the new government is concentrating on making them settle down more at the internally displaced persons, locations. Maybe a few projects have been, earmarked and assigned to a few people to start building back those structures and all of that. And don't forget, you would have expected that, okay, now that those buildings were razed down or probably bombed down, by one means of mechanism or the other by the Boko Haram, you would expect that government will come up with a very beautiful plan and erect structures that are lasting.
But I think it's not
and that would be like a national compensation for the internally displaced persons.
Even if you erect structures again after they were burned down, until you curb the issue of Boko Haram insurgency within that,
is that why government is not building back now?
I'm not making an excuse for them. But the truth is, because when you build back again, when you build the structures back again, and you've not taken away the root cause of that problem, they will still come back and destroy it.
Anyway,
so first things first,
we have an assurance.
Eliminate the bad eggs.
We have an assurance, that the incoming government will be looking really, really very strictly into, into insecurity and insurgency. And for me, we need to nip, it is a seed that eventually grows to become a monster, a big tree, and that is what we have in Boko Haram. If the activities of the Boko Haram was curbed, like it was done for the Maitasini, way back in Katsina State, yes. you and I will not have, to be talking almost every day basis. We have to say one thing or the other about Boko Haram. They became a monster. They became so humongous and so murderous because children are said to be the leaders of tomorrow. See the number of children that have been rescued. in Sambisa Forest, see the way they look. Can you probably see a future president of this country in any of those children? They need medical attention like ASAP. They need, to be well taken care of. These are children who have been exposed. Many of them have been diagnosed with pneumonia. Many of them have been diagnosed with, dysentery, kwashiorkor, and, all manner of diseases.
They're lacking proper food supplements, which should help their brain grow and develop more and function better. And at the end of the day, this all falls back to...
And somebody was telling me that moving some of them away from Sambisa Forest, some of them would naturally die. Because of change of environment, because they are
just environment.
Exactly. So I mean, you just relocate them, thinking that okay, now they are rescued, and we should give them, good environment, good water to drink, and all of that. They probably have developed some form of immunity against, everything that is fighting against their system.
I doubt if they have developed any form of immunity, because if they have, they won't have been looking the way they were looking. So.
And then somebody asked me a question, and I want to ask you, Ishama. More than 200 girls. About 214 girls have been found with pregnancy, ranging from like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Some of them, well advanced, maybe over 6 months and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, without having to, I don't mean anything. I mean, with a very free, open mind, I'm saying, you expect that all these pregnancies should be kept?
Well, all right, let's take this call while
you process your response. Good morning, Usman.
My brother, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Usman?
Good morning.
Fine, though. I bet you Shoma will not be able to answer that question.
I will. He's begging me to answer the question.
Okay, you want Ishoma to answer my question?
He would never answer the question.
I will. No, I will. I'll surprise you. I will.
All right. Don't worry. I'm expecting.
Okay.
My problem with pregnancy is that the problem and the situation now is that the press and the government should try and maybe bring out a law or review our constitution that the abortion and that there should be some things to be done to the pregnancy. Because what you can, according to what I read online last night concerning the pregnancy and the abused girl in Rwanda, they are being segregated. They are being segregated from the member of the public, whereby there is discrimination. And those children were asking their mothers that what offense they committed. And I bet you such thing will surely happen in Nigeria if nothing is being done about it. And I urge the parents of the children and the parents of the affected children and the girls should try and do the needful. I wouldn't say what is the needful. They know what the needful is. And if they believe that is the way Allah wants it, because that most of them believe that, Muslim also, that they believe that is what Allah wants it to be. I don't blame them. But I will beg them to please not let us have another Boko Haram in the nearest future.
All right.
So if there is another, please hold on, please. There is another that says, Wadana. It says, when you're riding on a tiger's back, you'll be happy that the tiger is busy fighting, attacking all other animals. But when the tiger is through with other animals, it will come back to you. That's my last thing today.
All right. Thank you so very much,
Ishiman.
I mean, very insightful.
I actually want to answer that question.
Oh, yeah, please
but
go
then
ahead.
I think we need to go on a quick commercial break. And immediately we get back from the break, I'll be answering Mr. Dapo's question. So just stay tuned and do not change the channel.
All right, we are back. This is still Crossfire with Dakbo and Ishoma, and we have been enumerating a couple of challenges that the incoming government will probably be sitting with, or addressing, or facing, or challenging, or fighting, whatever, adjective that is good to describe what, the general will definitely be facing when sworn in come May the 29th. And many of them we have said, and we want you to just call in. Let's know your thoughts. Let's know exactly which area of some of the things that we have mentioned that you really want the government to pay attention to. For me, all of these things are important, but maybe, in terms of priority, you may just have, need for one that you expect government to,
all of them are
very important. But I was saying something, behind the camera.
Do you want me to answer?
Okay, go ahead and answer that question.
I'm feeling like a student. as regards the scenario you painted, the truth is, those innocent...
It's actually reality. 214 girls found with pregnancy.
You're pregnant, yes. But should they keep the child or should they terminate the child?
When you are not even sure of the paternity of the children.
First of all, that call should be made by them. They should be the one to decide if they want to keep the child or if they want to take...
These are people who have been subjected to...
No, the truth is because at the end of the day, they will be the ones to raise up that child. They will be the ones to care and nurture that child to life. If they say, I cannot, bear this burden, it should be their own call.
So when a young lady is being raped, when a young lady is being raped, maybe on her way to school or in her house or something, and it results in...
That call should be left to her to make. Because let's look at America, for example.
To a 15, 16-year-old girl to make, or a 14-year-old girl?
That's why you see in America, you see some states have not ratified the whole abortion law thing. And you have some of them still arguing for and against. Every individual has a right to life. That right can only be taken by the pronouncement of the court. That is if the individual has been found wanting of a criminal activity or a criminal punishment where the person's life needs to be taken. That should be the only reason why that person's right to life should be taken away. But as regards this issue, it's a sad occurrence, but that call should be made only by those young girls.
Okay, can I contribute?
They should be told the implications of their pregnancy, the lifetime implications. They should be able to decide for themselves.
Can I make contribution?
Can they bear that child
I'll make my contribution. Let's take this call. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Ishoma.
How is Abuja today?
Abuja is calm and quiet. No complaint here in Abuja at all.
Great, thank God. All right.
Yeah, the government is running, counting down to date of handing over, for instance.
All right.
Yes, I'm actually coming out of my TV set, but I had Pastor Chioma commenting on our abortion, for instance.
Yeah.
Has this got to do with abortion?
No.
Yes, it has to do with abortion, yes.
He asked a question.
It has to do with abortion. Should I said cheaper girls, should those girls found with pregnancy, those women and girls found with pregnancy, should they be allowed to carry that pregnancy through?
Which set of women?
The one found in Sambisa Forest.
The one serving in the presidency?
No, the one found, those women and girls found in Sambisa Forest that were rescued by the military.
Good. Dapo.
Yes, sir.
If you go back historically, even during the First and the Second World War,
yes,
women were used as incubators by the Allied forces. And years after the First and Second World War, some of the Russian women came out crying to the United Nations for compensation for being used as sex slaves during the war. So it's a fact of life that during crisis, especially military men, they are known to even a lot with women. They will even kidnap them deliberately. If they happening, like I know some soldiers who went to Liberia as a rebel that have children there eventually. So you see, military people have this tradition of pulling up, messing up. That is why you have mess in their barracks, for instance. And then the question is, those women rescued from the house of Boko Haram with pregnancy, the essential question is this: should they abort them? But to me, no. I'm a Christian, for instance. It's unchristian to abort a pregnancy. And I believe, I don't know much of the Islamic religious posts on abortion. So whatsoever it is, those women, those girls that have been impregnated by Boko Haram, should not be pregnancy. Give them, should born them naturally. What I want the appropriate ministry to do, especially the Ministry of Health, they should be tested, screened for HIV/AIDS. And then, having screened for HIV/AIDS, if anyone is positive, for instance, I mean, they should start administering doses of, for instance, mother to child transmission of HIV/AIDS. But for abortion, I wouldn't suspect abortion. At least they should carry the pregnancy. Those children should be special children of the government, the state and federal government must at least take care of those lactating mothers already and ensure they deliver safely. So, therefore, the issue of abortion should be out of it. You see, because life, wherever or however it's going to issue, we humans will not have control of it. I should think it that.
Anyway, you know, my concern, Alex, if I can quickly shed light on it, I'm considering the insensitivity of a typical Nigerian government. I'm considering the paternity, you know, for these children. I'm considering the trauma over the years that these women and these girls will be subjected to, looking at those children and knowing fully well that they don't even have an idea or what they were subjected to before those pregnancies, you know, they came in. It was in a state of being treated inhumanly that they conceived these children. And so I'm just looking at the overall effect it's going to have on the women, on the children they're going to give birth to. That's just my concern, really. That's just my concern.
But at the end of the day, we're talking about
why I will not come on a national television knowing fully well some of the laws in Nigeria does not support abortion. But if we think that, okay, these children that will be given birth to by these women will definitely be taken care of by government or will become, you know, monuments for the government of Nigeria to take care of, oh, believe you me, it may not just work.
But the truth is, it will work.
Okay, fine.
And these children should be given every form of support and encouragement like every other child should be given. They're human beings. That's the most important thing. And mind you, there are so many individuals who are leaders currently in this, in various administrations who were bettered under such circumstances. But look at, you know, the impact they've had, you know, to play in the society at large. So I don't think these children should be excommunicated because of circumstances surrounding their birth. It's not their fault.
Anyway,
they're humans.
We are going to be left with, you know, the incoming government to come out really very strong to tell us exactly the position they are taking concerning the pregnant women and girls rescued in Sambisa Forest. We want to say thank you for being a part of our show. Tomorrow promised to be a very interesting one. We'll be having Madam Desmond Maje-Kodumi on the show, an environmental expert, and we'll be talking about environmental degradation in the Niger Delta and as it affects all the states of the Federation.
Just Delta,
you know,
Nigeria as a whole.
Exactly, Nigeria as a whole.
Thank you so much, and say no to violence.
All right, thank you.
Do not drink and drive.
And stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble.